Hey friends, my name is Brittany and it's a really lazy afternoon here in Florida. I'm on vacation and I thought you might like to join me for a yin practice. I'm not going to be offering any use of props just because I don't have any with me, but if you know that you like to use props, blocks, blankets, bolsters, please keep those close by. We'll just get started sitting. It'll take a couple moments to get centered, so getting comfortable either cross-legged or on your shins. We'll sit together with a tall spine. The hands are comfortable, just resting on the legs. Feeling your shoulder blades moving down and away from the ears. The skin around your eyes soften. Relaxing your jaw. The tongue falling away from the roof of your mouth. And we'll just take an inventory of what's going on in the body. Maybe noticing what feels a little bit tense or a little bit tight. What feels a little more open or at ease. And taking inventory of what's going on in the mind. Are you worrying about something that might happen in the future? Are you dwelling on something that's already happened in the past? And finally, bringing our awareness to our breath. Feeling the breath moving in and out of the nose. You might like to think to yourself, I am breathing in on the inhale. I am breathing out on the exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. So as we move through our yin practice, we're continually taking inventory of what's going on in the body and in the mind, but we can always come back to the present moment by coming back to the breath. Opening the eyes if they're closed. We're going to start in a dangle. We won't take this pose for as long, be about 1 minute to 2 minutes. So coming to stand on our feet. Feet are about hip distance apart. Generous bend through the knees because we want to make this about the lower back and the spine. Just draping the body, the torso over the legs. The weight is even through the feet. You might like to hold on to opposite elbows. Feeling a release through the lower back. Tractioning the vertebrae of the spine. Letting the head be heavy. Imagining any stress or tension that you're holding on to in your shoulders and your neck, that all of that just drips down to the crown of the head, and you just let that fall down onto the mat and leave it there. Releasing the grip of the elbows if you have them. And then we'll just walk the feet out a little bit wider. We're going to come into a low squat. And again, just like with the dangle, we won't stay here as long as our other yin poses in this practice. You might like to take your hands together at your heart, pressing the elbows into the knees, keeping the spine more erect, but then relaxing through your hips and your legs. Or you might like to take your hands down onto the mat and round through the spine. This can give you a nice opening through the backs of the calves, the Achilles tendon, opening through the lower back and the spine if you're rounded. The breath is smooth and steady. And rolling up through the spine if you're rounded, and then just coming down to sit on your bum. We'll extend the legs out long in front. You can just shake through the legs. Bring the soles of the feet together, coming into a seated butterfly. Inhaling a tall spine, and on the exhale, hinging forward at the hips. Nothing about this is aggressive. There's no striving or pulling. You might even like to flip your palms as a gesture of surrender, of committing to non-doing.
And your next inhale, let's rebuild the spine, coming all the way up. Just letting yourself land at the top. And then we'll just lean back onto the hands. We'll let the knees fall side to side. We'll take the right sole of the foot in towards the left thigh. Now, a couple of options as we come forward. You might like to take your torso down towards the middle of the legs, or maybe this time, this practice, you want to bring the torso over the left leg, so you're targeting a little bit more of the right outer part of the torso and the right hip. So the really beautiful thing about this practice is all poses are legal, so anywhere with the torso in relation to the leg is perfectly fine. So you can choose what resonates with your body right now. And as the torso comes forward, honoring your edge, not going too deep too quickly. It's okay if the mind is wandering and feeling very busy. See if you can come back to the sensations that you're feeling in the body. Really taking the time to listen to what your body's telling you. Our body is talking to us all the time, but we rarely take the time to listen. Slowly releasing from here.
Again, when you get to the top, we'll just sit here for a few breaths, resisting the urge to move on to the next thing. Leaning back onto the hands, a windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And then we'll move into this shape on the other side, extending the right leg in front of us. Bending the left knee and the left sole of the foot comes to the inside of the right leg. And then taking your time to try this one on. Torso coming down, more in the middle of the legs, or moving your way to coming right over or even beyond the right leg. So you can try that out. Taking your time to release from here. Rolling up. You might like to roll out through the shoulders, the neck. Lean back onto the hands. And last time, just letting the knees fall side to side.
And we'll come on to our shins so we can move into toes pose. Pretty intense opener for the fascia of the bottoms of the feet. So tucking the toes under, you're welcome to come a little bit more forward with your hands on the floor. This is going to relieve a little bit of the pressure you could be feeling through the bottoms of the feet, the joints of the toes. You could even start to walk the hands a little bit closer to you. They might even come up onto your shins. And you might be able to stack your shoulders right over your hips. So just taking your time to find where you'd like to be today. And closing the eyes. Relaxing through your jaw, relaxing the face. And we'll release from here. You might like to give the tops of the feet a little bit of a tap on your mat. If it's okay for your ankles, you could even lean back, lifting the knees up, countering it with a stretch for the ankles and the tops of the feet. Then we'll come down onto our bellies. We're going to move into Sphinx. And the elbows come underneath the shoulders. You could have the feet wide apart or close together. It's going to change the sensation in the lower back. And you could let the head hang back. It could be more neutral, or you could even have the head come forward. Relaxing through the entire lower body. Compressing the lower lumbar spine. Opening through the abdomen and the chest. And as the body marinates in stillness, we have the opportunity to explore our own internal world. Becoming the observer of the patterns of thought. release from here, just to come to lay down on our bellies. You can have your forehead resting on stacked hands, the elbows winged out. You could even have your hands, arms beside you. Just hang out here and noticing the rebound. You might notice a rush of energy or chi moving through the lower back, as well as blood and lymph. Letting the entire body feel supported by the mat, the earth beneath you. In your own time, we'll press our way up and back into a child's pose. Knees together or wide apart, you can choose. Just letting the hips sink down and back towards the heels. The arms are soft. inhale draws us up onto all fours, just so then we can shift the weight of the hips over, come to a seat, and then come all the way down onto our backs. And as we come down onto our backs, we'll take the feet in towards the bum, just bending the knees, shifting the weight of the hips a little bit over to the right. And we'll let stacked knees fall to the left. You could twist your roots by taking that top right leg and wrapping it around the bottom. Arms coming out into a T. The head could stay neutral, or you might like to bring that twist into the cervical spine by letting the head fall to the right. The breath continues to be smooth and steady. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. In, out. Releasing from the twist. We'll draw the knees in towards the body with the help of your hands. You might like to reach for the backs of the thighs. You might even be able to reach towards the soles of the feet. Just taking a little happy baby here. You could let the hips sway side to side, kicking out one foot, the other. resisting the urge to think about what comes next. Just relishing in this present moment. Releasing the grip that you have on the legs or the feet. The soles of the feet land in towards the bum. Shift the weight of the hips a little bit to the left, making space for the knees, the legs to fall to the right. Choosing your option with the legs stacked or twisted, arms comfortable out by your sides. Relaxing a little bit more. Releasing from the twist. Come back to center and hug the knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. And then just letting the legs come out long, the arms coming out by our sides. We're going to rest in our final corpse pose. Letting the entire body feel heavy, feel supported. Start to bring awareness back into the body by moving your fingers, your toes, rolling out your wrists, your ankles. You can let your head rock side to side. Take a big inhale in as the arms reach up and overhead, stretching through your fingers, down through your toes. I'll bend the knees. So you can roll onto one side. You could use your bicep as a little pillow. Just landing in a fetal shape. A couple breaths here. And then coming all the way up. Sitting, as we did at the beginning of our practice, in a comfortable seat with a tall spine. We'll bring our hands together at our heart, bowing to one another in gratitude for this time that we've taken to invest in our own well-being. Namaste.